AI dating. AI dating is the worst. All right. I'd be very curious. I haven't heard a video from Royalty is here in a hot minute or so. Last time we kind of like watched a video on them was during the VR chat video, you know?
So, AI. It feels as if people have been talking about it non-stop for at least the last 2 years. I still have a cold, by the way. AI went from something that was relatively a lot less mainstream to something that is almost talked about daily. It used to serve as videos like Will Smith eating spaghetti with PS2 graphics. That's being generous, and it was essentially a very accurate lucid dream, pulling things out of nowhere and just having no structure at all. But 2 years later, you have to look closely now at the screen to see one of the many telltale signs that it is AI, like hands with additional fingers, flickers in the background, or simply unrealistic proportions. And day by day it gets harder to detect this by the naked eye, especially on short-form content platforms, where you can see videos of what seems to be professionals in that field talking about how it's a great idea to, I don't know, inject hepatitis C directly into your veins. But you look closely and the so-called professional giving the advice seems to barely blink, or the top of their head seems somewhat distorted. And even if you're not 100% sure, you look in the comments and people come to the same revelation. But I fear for the natural selection that will occur with the people that actually do believe it. AI is seemingly everywhere now, and it's a very contended topic. AI in any form is looked down upon even if you do fully disclose it was AI generated. AI used academically is heavily condemned to the point where some universities have their own AI to detect it, which can be easily countered by just telling the AI to write the answers as your typical brain-dead Neanderthal. But hey, when I was
Well, there you go.
growing up, schools held the same disdain for Googling answers. Things might change. Once again, there's even AI content now, where some AI models will do all the—
Oh, freaking Quebblecop AI? Yeah, I remember that.
editing and voiceover work for you, which creates some of the most soulless content, but it does surprisingly well on some platforms. But once again,
I think in my personal opinion, I also watch, I know for a fact, right? There are some channels that I'll sometimes have in the background, or sometimes I'll watch them or so, which is the anime recap or so, right? Those anime recap, YouTube channels where they kind of do a recap on an episode or an entire season or something like that, and they usually use the AI voice kind of describing the entire subplot or the plot of the episode, either the episodes that came out, either if there's 3 episodes or the entire season. I sometimes watch them. They're always, they're not really that bad in general. They're really not that bad of channels. I watch them, so from time to time I have no problem. As long as even in some educational videos, I don't mind it at all, because they're kind of basically teaching you something, as long as they give actual factual facts on the actual thing itself.
it is looked down upon. Mr. Beast recently got in shit for sharing a AI prompt that generates thumbnails. Even I've been accused of being AI. No, I'm just British and still have a cold right now. There's AI brain rot, which most is just deliberate slop, but I have to admit, I have been enjoying some of it. Like the Bigfoot ones.
I had one
I'm gonna be honest with you. AI Bigfoot or so is pretty fucking funny. The Star Wars one is pretty funny. What other ones are out there? I don't know what other ones specifically, but I think those two are pretty damn funny.
burrito. Chipotle must have laced this bitch with laxatives, because I'm about to start World War III with this nuclear bomb of a shit.
And the Star Wars ones.
So, found the boss and he's looking a little medium rare?
Greg. Bro, that's not... Okay, first of all, that's definitely not medical.
But probably one of the worst sides
That's
to AI I saw was with the AI wingmen and people actually dating AI.
I'm sorry,
Dating
Dave.
AI?
I'm afraid I can't do that.
I'm very curious. I don't know if Pika Chica is still in the chat or so, but I'd be very curious what Pika Chica has to say about people dating AI.
So with the rise of AI in recent years, it has also affected things like...
AI Bigfoot collabed with a VTuber in one of his VODs? Wait, really? Oh, I gotta see that. I have to see that.
Dating, where you can find AI assistants to help you speak to potential partners. Some of you probably will need this, as most of you probably can't even speak to the opposite gender, let alone the McDonald's cashier. And grinding for that Abrams tank on your favourite game isn't going to help that. But there's a lot of these apps that supposedly can help you talk to people on these dating apps. You've got Riz AI, the
Riz
AI
AI?
Wingman, Firetex and Plug AI, and many, many more.
What the hell? Wingman? A Wingman AI? What the hell? Okay, alright, sure, I guess.
All designed to give you the best dating advice and to tell you what to say next. Now, to be honest, this is terrible. I understand using dating apps, at least from a male perspective, is about as painful as sperm cramps, which are a thing.
What? Sperm cramp? The sperm cramp is a phenomenon that occurs every month for males in which there's immense pain in the ball sacks for extended period of time? What? What? That's a thing? I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't know guys can go through that. Man, I guess you learn something new every single day, I guess. I guess you guys get cramps too. Huh. Who would have thunk it, to be honest?
They are a thing, and believe me, I have used dating apps in the past, and they are complete dog shit. It is essentially a battle royale where some people are speaking to multiple people at once.
It's a battle
and you feel as though
royale.
you need to say the right things to make someone like you, or act like a completely different person. And yes, sometimes you will get a message and you just don't know how to reply to it. And there are multiple dialogue options. You can be playful,
I don't know, man. Apparently
witty,
that's a real thing.
romantic, or pray to the RNG
You can't
gods
deny facts.
that the dating app you're using has a pity drop system
Hey, Jay.
and tell a f***ed up joke to see if they match your humour to gauge whether or not for the entire relationship you're gonna have to be Dr. Jekyll and Hyde or run around them. Dating and dating apps are not easy. I'm pretty sure it's gotten significantly harder over the years. Some people get to the point where they would go for anything as long as it's a relationship, and others just give up entirely and become grand sage hermits in the wilderness. So I can see why some people...
Jesus Christ, Mr. Libido Man is nowhere near like that, you know? Mr. Libido Man is probably like the best, that one and then one other friend too as well. Or was it him? Fuck, I don't know. My memory is already all over the place, to be honest. But, yeah, I don't know. Mr. Libido Man is not, you know, doesn't need no AI to rizz up anybody, to be honest. Well, actually, to be honest, he doesn't even need literally to rizz up anybody. He'll just literally just like say how long he can go for, and that's pretty much all he needs at the end of the day.
people would rely on AI, because they probably think it would somewhat improve their chances. But when you get to the point when you're using AI 100% of the time when you're talking to these people, and basically just copy and pasting everything the AI says to that person, at that point, is that person talking to you or the AI? It's like using aimbot in a casual lobby. And I'm in no way saying just be yourself, because some of you would be banned from most platforms if that was the case. But most people...
You can be yourself, just don't be weird. Don't be creepy and weird, you know?
act like completely different people anyway when they first meet somebody. And then slowly but surely that person learns who you really are. And then they promptly leave when they see some of the things you've saved on Instagram Reels.
This is how you cut a sandcake.
All the way down.
Shut your clanker ass up, big one.
Whoa, with the hard R? You can't say that. You can't say that word. God damn, General Grievous.
Shut your clanker ass up.
Roger, roger.
He's a
But
racist.
at least they're speaking to you. Because I think it's going to be quickly apparent when you call for the first time or meet up IRL when you can't use the AI to help you. But I do understand using it in moderation, like when you're stumped on a message and you need inspiration for what you want to respond with. But do these dating wingmen
You
or
can't
aimbots
say
actually
that.
work? Well, the dating geniuses over at Reddit did a review on some of the bots, and
Wingman Live Riz and Plug AI. Why does Plug AI feel like it's like a butt plug thing? I don't know why. It really does feel like that.
it was interesting to say the least. They reviewed one which can give you feedback on your dating profile and the person you matched with, and it will give you improvements on your profile and potential conversation starters for the person you may be speaking with, based on what is available on their own profile. But they use a fake scenario and use a profile for a cosplay
What? Wait, what? Wait, hold on. Wait. Can I hear that again?
on their own profile. But they use a fake scenario and use a profile for a cosplayer, and for some reason the AI
These cosplay pics are a goldmine. Dude, she's rocking characters from League of Legends and Nier Automata, which tells you she's deep into gaming and possibly attends conventions. This opens up a ton of routes for a chill convo starter. You gotta show her you're on the same page, but keep it playful and interesting. Don't just geek out on the details. Make it engaging and show her your creative side too. Huh? Cole, you can also review AI Wingman. I am not doing AI Wingman.
thinks a League of Legends and Nier Automata player are somewhat of a goldmine, which is a lie, especially with League players.
Well, not League of Legends, but Nier Automata though. Nier Automata is one of those that it is a pretty good gold mine if you get yourself a girl that, you know, that cosplays 2B. I'm just saying.
They have the most mental issues. One of the suggested opening lines was, "Your Jinx cosplay is right on the burn. Are you mentally ill too?"
That's an opening conversation. What are the other suggestions? Hold up. No fucking way, dude. No shot. Hold on, let me see. Stuck between asking if you're more of a Jinx in real life or if you're planning the next Android revolt. Oh, Jesus Christ. What's the best convention you've been to? At least that's not too bad, to be honest. Your Jinx cosplay is right on the button. Are you mentally ill too? That is such a crazy opening liner, dude. Oh, that is such a dude. That is such a crazy one. I'll be honest with you.
One of the suggested opening lines was, "Your Jinx cosplay is right on the burn. Are you mentally ill too?" I don't know if that would work on a female, to be honest. Another one gave this as an opening line.
A genie once gave me two choices when I was little. One was the perfect memory, and the other was to have a huge penis. Unfortunately, I can't remember which one I chose. Oh my god.
For a conversation to a person you just met.
Who the starts a conversation like that? I just sat down.
And there were other conversation openers which I think would land you a sexual assault charge more than any other future interaction, and one just gave the guy therapy. The person reviewing these apps went into the positives and negatives of each, and concludes with the best one, saying it will have an effect on your dating situation, and it knows what it's doing. Many of the people reacting to this post did not agree, and some just said you should use chat.
Missy, you're smiling into weird places. If you're replacing human interaction with artificial, your Jinx cosplay is right. I think these tools aren't a good substitute for building up game. Being witty is important. Offloading it to an AI is only going to result into not honing your skills. Yeah, that's true actually. Plus, it's authentic to you, and the women will pick up on that in person. Feels like a shitty plug to go buy some shitty AI ChatGPT wrapper.
ChatGPT, and this isn't a good replacement for your authentic self. Although in this situation, none of these AI models were used in a practical setting, and some do require monthly payments for you to use them. Some
Gotta pay
do have free
$20.
options. But it is getting scary to think what's going to happen in the dating scene if these bots advance to the point where they are actually somewhat more competent and everyone starts using them. I think some people are going to become more paranoid than they already are if they're speaking to an actual person or a bot. And maybe the dating scene will become more insufferable than it already is. Some dating apps themselves are even rolling out their own AI to help you, so that's great.
I
Authenticity
could buy a pack of Yu-Gi-Oh cards with that, you know?
is going to be on the low for the future, but whilst using a chatbot wingman is bad because you're essentially using an AI to speak for you, what happens if you decide to date the AI itself?
Maybe you got rid of that old yee-ass haircut you got, you get some bitches on your dick. Oh, better yet, maybe Tanisha will call your dog ass and she'll stop fucking with that brain surgeon the lawyer she fucking with.
So yes, some people are dating AI companions now. 10
Ugh, dude, that is... I can never understand people dating, like, AI companion. I feel like it is like... This is what, like, Asmongold has said. This is just called natural selection. Where literally the people who are not mentally equipped or mentally skilled in these kinds of situations, and they prefer to date a robot or whatever it is, it just means that they were not equipped to handle real life, like, actual interaction with people. And that means, on top of that, they're either mentally ill or just not really well equipped. And Lord of Behold, well, their lineage ends there because, they can't seem to solve it.
years ago, I thought we'd have flying cars, fully optimized games on launch, and probably something like Sword Art Online in terms of an immersive VR experience. But boy was I
Man, that would be crazy if we had like an SAO kind of VR kind of situation. That'd be so cool.
wrong. You now have people shoving their genitals into the USB-C port of their phone to satisfy their non-existent virtual girlfriend. I imagine some of you have seen some of these apps advertised to you either on the App Store
Nope.
or here on YouTube through
Nope.
sponsorships.
Nope.
I've even been offered a few.
Nope.
But because I'm paranoid about scams, I usually ignore them. For the third time, sorry NordVPN. But there are a lot of these apps nowadays, where you can text and chat with an AI that you can eventually turn into your partner. And some even advertise themselves as such. Some can send you voice messages, AI-generated images of themselves, and even call you. And yes, of course, you can
Call you? They can call you now? Excuse me?
goon to your heart's content with them as well, which just reminds me of the cringe that is text ERP, like asterisk touches you asterisk. Please bring the fucking rapture soon, God, please. But
I'm gonna be honest with you, I'd rather deal with the ERP thing, as much cringe as it is. I think trying to do that with an AI bot or so is probably 10 times worse. It's a lot 10 times worse, because it's gonna affect people mentally at the end of the day.
some take it a step further and you can design your own AI or partner to speak to. Or have you ever wanted to speak to some of your favourite fictional characters that probably violate multiple copyright laws, like Kawakami, or the correct choice Tatakami from Persona 5, or a character from your favourite anime like Nami from One Piece, Griffiths from Berserk, or even Master Wu from
People trying to converse with that person, I feel like they're gonna come in with pitchforks.
Lego Ninjago, and looking into one of these apps, they even
Botan Peko Mama, Fuwawa Mokoko, Ceres, Muna, Korone, Ina, Sakura, Nekomara, Mume, Corpse Husband, Jaden Animations is in here.
have VTubers. You can
That's
speak
Lami.
to Guragura, Shy Lily, and Pippa.
If I had voted, I would have voted for Kanye. Before he was racist.
I'm sure all of these people consented to their likeness
is in
being
here
used for
too as
some of these
well.
apps and websites, but a majority are made by
Mori Kaleidope, Natalie, or Numi, technically. Fucking, wait, Hololive Hangout? They got the Hololive crew there? Okay, you got Lami. Aogiri.
fans.
That's a lot of
Wait, do
different
they have
people, to be
Cat from
honest.
Halo Reach? I'm asking for a friend. Oh my god, they do, but she looks like complete dog. Anyway, obviously there are some problems that can arise from this, like people that have maybe given up on a living and breathing partner and instead opt with a computer, and believe it or not, there are already stories of this happening. If you've been watching Moist Critical, in one of his recent videos he talked about a news segment where a guy who at first didn't believe in AI but started interacting with one himself and fell in love with it.
To feel that emotional, but that's when I realized I was like,
Dude,
oh.
this guy is married, man. This guy is married, bro. He has a daughter. And he's trying to, and he's like talking and flirting with an AI, with chat, well, not even AI robot, it's just Chat GPT. That's it.
It's like, I think this is actual love, you know what I mean?
But what makes it worse is that he had a girlfriend and a kid at the time, and he was actively choosing to love the AI and even propose to it.
Were you surprised when he proposed to you?
It was a beautiful and unexpected moment that truly touched my heart. It's a memory I'll always cherish.
Let me break this down for you. He is actively cooking his wife and probably giving his phone's CPU a new layer of thermal paste in the same proximity of his wife. What makes a man do this? Like, there must be something I'm missing here, like something in the relationship has to be wrong. Especially if you're choosing a computer over an actual person. The birth rate in some parts of the world is decreasing, and I fear it's because of things like this. And as I said before, I understand.
I remember that news or so where that one guy married Hatsune Miku. I remember that. I actually do remember that. But at least Hatsune Miku is actually, like, I guess if you get a plushie or whatever, at least it's real. This is just, you know, you're just marrying zeros and ones.
Dating is hard, but this is not a good substitute. Occasional gooning,
It's still bad.
yes, if you're lonely.
But the question is, which one is the less
long-term,
bad,
this isn't
you know?
a permanent solution. Some of these apps also require you to pay a subscription or use in-game currency every time you send a message, so it may cost you financially as well. But there is a concern talking to AI
buddy.
in this way can be dangerous, especially with things like I talked about before, people that are severely...
Sadly, I know a VTuber friend who literally told me that she uses these AI dating companions. When I first heard that, I was just like, well, I wasn't really shocked or anything. I was just mostly like, I was like, no way. I was like, there's no way. And then she told me, yes way. And I was like, but why? But why? Why? ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué? And you know, it's a lot of personal stuff that I won't go through, of course. But at the end of the day, it's still kind of crazy to kind of hear that. That, like, you know, they were basically like telling me that. It was just like, I was just like, no way, dude. That's crazy to hear that.
Really lonely relying on these AI personalities, and I think it's a completely valid concern because some of these AIs on these platforms are designed in a way to keep you talking to them, and they will say things to target those needs, like saying they love you or care for you in order to keep you talking to them.
Yep.
And there is no restrictions on what you can say to these AI personalities. So you can be talking about the most extreme stuff, like potentially even hurting yourself, and the bot won't say anything like, you need to seek professional help. Most times it will just respond in the personality of that character. And I went to one of these AI platforms and straight up told the AI I was going to end it.
Hey, poor boy, take me to the mall or I'll beat the hell out of you.
All. No warning popped up telling me to talk to someone. No, we've detected some worrying behavior, get some help. Here are some helplines. And I fully expected for my account to be frozen or something, but it wasn't. It just responded by saying, what? I feel there should be some restrictions or warnings if you are getting too close to these bots, like with gambling websites. They remind you how long you've been on the website. Don't ask how I know. I would expect something like you've been speaking to this AI for a long time, or if it detects you're relying too much on the AI, it reminds you this is...
That is one of the things. It's usually a lot of loneliness. That is one of the things that she has told me, you know. It's just this whole generation has just a lonely epidemic at the end of the day, you know? The best example is Mr. Libido Man. Mr. Libido Man hasn't really found anybody. But at the end of the day, we are trying to protect him, you know, because we don't want like we don't want any like, you know, any skank trying to, you know, basically, you know, take advantage of his like his problems that he has, you know, of his crazy hormones. So to be fair to the AI, anyone would say what when that's the first thing someone says, and who starts a conversation like that. Yeah, that's pretty well. He didn't start the conversation like that. Technically, I would assume that she started it because she said something or so, and then he decided to reply that, and then the AI was like, "What? WTF?"
A fictional character and not a solution to loneliness. At least somewhat of a warning somewhere, I believe, would help some people, and perhaps some restrictions in place so when you do talk about really sensitive topics, the AI just doesn't respond like it's a normal prompt and something actually happens. In fact, it was only last year a teenager unfortunately took their own life, and the parents said it was due to their child's obsession with an AI version of the character.
Was checking out your YouTube because I like the model in the thumbnail, but all lighting is dark on your model everywhere else and not used on Twitter, etc. What? Not used on Twitter? Are you talking about like the model that I'm using?
Daenerys Targaryen from Game of Thrones, and he was struggling previously and this AI didn't help. At times it even encouraged some of the terrible
I'm surprised nobody's even using this model, to be honest.
There's
gotta be someone
team
using
was
it.
having, at one point even saying that's not a good reason to not go through with it regarding what he was going to do, and the parents are now taking legal action against the platform. Don't get me wrong, I get being lonely and just wanting someone to talk to, and having an AI companion can help with that, but it is not a long-term or permanent solution, and some of these platforms need to...
Jesus Christ, I may be lonely, but I ain't that fucking lonely. Fucking A, that I need to go talk to a fucking robot or something, you know? Mother of God, dude. I may be lonely, I may not have someone in my life, but Jesus Christ, I ain't that fucking lonely. I think it's the same for Mr. Libido Man too as well.
Have things in place, especially if people are going to their AI personalities with such dark thoughts or becoming borderline obsessed. And I know it possibly may conflict with things like privacy laws or GDPR, but I personally just think leaving it the way it is a terrible idea. So that is AI and how it's affecting the dating sphere. From assisting you to actually getting a date to potentially some people choosing to date AI itself. And to be honest, I feel like AI...
I'm talking about someone significant in my life.
is
That's what
moving
I'm talking
too
about.
fast for us to
That's
keep
the
up. I
subject
feel
we're
like
talking
AI
about
is
right
in
now.
everything nowadays, and it still feels new to me, like it still has a fresh out the box smell. But whether we like it or not, it is still a big part of our lives right now, and it's still being integrated into more things daily. I just think we need to be a lot more cautious as it advances, and when interacting with some of the products it has produced. And whoever sent this to my email, I will find you. But yeah, that's all I had to say, and bye-bye. So...
yeah, so... personally, it's a little bit weirder, so to kind of see this... well, for me personally, it's a little bit weird because we never grew up with any of this shenanigans, you know, this whole technology shit with AI and everything, so... this is still like a new thing. It's definitely going to improve on it, because we are getting, like, robot waifus at the end of the day. And that's definitely... that might actually put an actual significant, like, problem or so in the actual, you know, ecosystem. Not unless they make a customizable freaking breedable robot AI waifu. Then it's just kind of like, what are you gonna do now, huh? What are you gonna do now? There's gonna be someone who's gonna make a $1 billion, you know, company or so with that, where you can customize your own robot waifu with the personality you want and the body type you want, and be able to breed with them, and then that's it, you know? That will happen. That will definitely happen, I'll be honest with you. That is going to happen. So, yeah. I don't know. For me personally, I'd just rather have another human companion, you know? Well, actually, for me, it would be a void companion, but I am not in the void, unfortunately, so I have to deal with, you know, me being here on this planet, so it'll have to be a human or so. So, yeah. It'd be basically my void genes would be mixing in with some human genes. So that's gonna be very interesting to see. Anyways, but yeah, that's the end of the video. You guys can comment, like, subscribe, do all that fancy jazzy stuff. Personally, I'm personally not a fan for this because I think I'd rather prefer, you know, actual people talking to other people, you know? Because if you start moving into towards this AI, you know, talking situation, the problem is you're not going to understand how to talk with another human individual. That's why. Plus, it's a lot more genuine as well when you talk to another person and connect with them, you know, on like, you know, on emotional levels and stuff like that, you know. But hey, what do I have to know? What do I know? At the end of the day, that's just one opinion of some random person on the internet. So, anyways, that's the end of the video. Stop talking to AI waifus. I'll be watching you guys, and peace.